Good evening, believers. How are you doing out there? Hopefully, Instagram will catch up in just a second. But hello, believers. How are you doing today? This is Love Coach Dasha coming to you today for the Healing Hour Live. Now, I've been with you all week for the Trust Issues Challenge. If you have been in my group for the Trust Issues Challenge, we've been working on some trust. Girl, we've been working on it this week. And you can still come join in if you want to. It's in my link tree. It's in my Love After Cheating group. So if you want to come join in, you still have time. Tomorrow is 5, the end of the challenge. So if you still want to join in, you still want to see the videos from this week, talk about that trust, come on down to the Love After Cheating group, okay? All right. Hello. If you're here with me, give me likes, give me love. Say hey. Let me know that you are here, girl. I see everybody coming on in. Hello to you. All right. I can see, I think everything. If you've never been with me before, go on over to StreamYard.com, StreamYard.com/Facebook, and it will ask you if you will allow me to see your name on my StreamYard screen, which is going everywhere. It's going here, it's going to YouTube, it's video recording, it's doing all the whole thing. So I can see better if you give me your name over there. All right. So we are here today to talk about getting on the healing path. You have been through the trauma of the person you love cheating on you. Now, I know a lot of people will say, oh, they just never loved you. They should just went away if they cheated. They did not care about you. They were going to just treat you like a doormat. Things would never be the same. Things would never be good again. I know that people say that, but I'm here to tell you that that's not true. That does not have to be true. I myself have been through this particular trauma, and me and my husband are still together. It is almost 16 years later. We are still together. We are happy. We are trusting. Things are going well. I am healed. All right. And that space in my chest that used to just choke me, that made me feel like I could just never heal that spot in my chest, that's gone now. All right. That spot in your chest can be gone now too. I want it to be gone for you. I do not want you to keep on having to struggle with this, be in this type of pain. It sucks. All right. And that's not the type of life that you want to live anyhow. You don't want to live a life of pain, suffering, untrusting, never able to be vulnerable with the person you love. What is that? That's no fun at all. We want a real life healthy relationship, and you gotta let go of some of this pain to be able to get to that. All right. So we're gonna talk about being able to let go of this pain. We're gonna talk about trust a little bit. We're gonna talk about it, whatever comes up today. I know I got some questions. I see people were posting on the post about questions. I got you. We're gonna talk about it. But first and foremost, I'm gonna do what I always do. I want you to know that there are things that you can do right now that are going to start to help you with this healing process. And you need to be doing them, and you need to be doing them consistently because they're going to help you day to day. Okay. I know, it's like, oh, well, he needs to do X, Y, and Z. I know that that's what you've been told is the way to go about this. But all right, you're not in a position where their actions are going to affect you. Okay. They could be doing all the good things, they could be doing everything right now, but they hurt you. So you're not going to trust that. You're not going to calm yourself down with their actions because you're going to feel like, oh, well, they're just trying to get over on me, or they're just trying to make this go, they're trying to sweep it under the rug. You're going to feel like that. So nothing that they can do can help you with. I want you to help yourself. All right. I want you to dig out of this trauma, stop feeling so down, stop being on that roller coaster. I want you to be able to do that. And you can do that all by yourself. You don't need him to do it. All right. First things first, do your deep breathing. Have you been doing your deep breathing? Have you been doing that on a regular basis? I need you to be doing that 5 times a day. Okay. We can't keep on skipping on that. We have to do that deep breathing. That deep breathing is the exact opposite of the breathing that you do when you are stressed out, when you're anxious, when things are going wrong. When you do the deep breathing, you send that message to your brain that you are fine. Everything is all right. You are handling this. You don't need to be afraid. You don't need to run away. You don't need to do any of that stuff. You're fine. All right. And the more you tell your brain you're fine, the more you consistently tell it that and try and make it believe it, it will believe you. Your brain will believe what you tell it to believe. If you are stuck in terrible thoughts right now, that is because that's the thoughts you're telling your brain. But if you stop doing that and you start telling yourself better stuff, trust me, it'll work. All right. It does work. I have seen it work. I have felt it work. Okay. Hey, Regina. I see the heart. Thank you so much. Glad you're here. All right. Come on in, everybody. Come on, do your deep breathing with me. All right. We're going to do what's called 4-7-8 breathing. Now, you can pick whatever pattern you want to. All right. It does not matter. The whole point of this is to exhale excess carbon dioxide. When you're anxious, you sit with the air and you never exhale. All right. So first things first, you're going to exhale. Now, look, you can do this even when you're stressed out and you can't think of whatever breathing technique it is to do. Start with blow for as long as you possibly can because you may not realize it, but your body is starting to get into that fight or flight mode before you even consciously realize it. So if you're starting to feel stressed, you're probably already crossing over into that. So if you exhale, you're getting rid of excess carbon dioxide, and that carbon dioxide buildup makes you feel like, oh, something is wrong, something is going to go wrong with my life. It makes you feel like that when it builds up. So if you let it go, a lot of the time you can calm down. All right. So we're going to exhale first, always the exhale, and in your nose if you can, for a count of 4. I'm going to hold that breath for a count of 7, and then we're going to blow out like we're blowing out birthday candles on a big old cake for a count of 8. If you can't do it the first time, trust me, do it the second time, do it the third time, you'll be with us. All right. And I need you to be doing this 5 times a day so you can bring that anxiety level from way up high to down where you can manage it. All right. We need to bring it down and you can breathe it down. All right. So we're going to do that real quick. We're going to do it 3 times together just for the sake of time. So remember 4-7-8, blow out, in for 4, hold for 7, blow out for 8. All right. You ready? Come on, join me. We're going to start off with blowing out. Inhale through your nose. 2, 3, 4. Hold it. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Blow out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Again. Inhale. 2, 3, 4. Hold it. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Blow out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Last time. Inhale. 2, 3, 4. Hold it. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Blow out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Beautiful. How do you feel doing the deep breathing? You should feel pretty good doing it. It should make you a little sleepy. Some people it makes them more alert. Some people it makes them sleepy. It just depends. Hey, they're looking good. 156. I see you over on Instagram. Hey, but we have got to start doing that. It should make you feel a little bit calmer. It should make your brain feel like you're a little less scattered. It can make you yawn. It can make you feel a little tired. It is a great thing to do first thing when you wake up. Filling your lungs up with oxygen, getting yourself ready for the day. It's a great thing to do right before you get ready to go to bed at night. Before you lay down, do your deep breathing. That's going to help you with the nightmares. If you are still having those nightmares where you're like dreading going to sleep because you're like, oh, I'm going to see something awful. I'm going to see what they were doing. I'm going to see what I imagined they were doing in my head. Guess what? If you do the deep breathing, a lot of the time that winds that down before you even get into bed, and then you don't start thinking about those terrible things as you're going to sleep. All right. So we need to be doing this consistently. Okay. Doing it once or twice is not going to do it. 5 times a day. Be scheduling it out. Put it in your phone. set an alarm and go off. I used to work with a doctor who he was a psychiatrist, and he had a mindfulness moment set into his phone. And it did not matter that we were about to give report, we were about to talk. Didn't matter. It was his mindfulness minute, and he would sit down and be still and be quiet for that minute till his timer was up, and then we can continue to talk. Hey, look, this is a doctor, this is a psychiatrist doing this, taking that time, stopping for a moment and taking care of himself. I don't think we should do any less than that. A little bit of breathing is not going to kill us. It's only a couple of seconds during the day that you're doing. It's like 2 minutes that you got to sit there and count and breathe. You're going to feel better and you're taking care of yourself. It's some self care. All right. Another bit of self care that you can do your journaling. Have you been doing your journaling? Have you been sitting down and putting pen to paper and writing about what's going on inside of you? We need that, okay? We need you to be a scientist, investigate what's going on within. All right. We need you to do that. We need you to sit down every day, first thing in the morning, when you wake up, do your deep breathing, sit down with your journal for about 5 minutes in the morning. Think about your day. What's going to happen today? Worried about today? Was there something from last night that you were thinking about that, oh, okay, now I'm mulling it over and it seems like it might be a little bit better today or it might be a little easier today? What's going on in there? All right. And then at night before you go to bed, about 5 minutes before you go to bed, sit down with your tea, a little hot tea, sit down with your journal, write in your journal for about 5 minutes. Talk about your day, talk about feelings you had, how you handled them, how you gotten triggered, all sorts of stuff like that. All right. And I need you to be working on this every single day. Also, what I need you to include is your date, your time, and your level of anxiety. Okay, those three things need to always go in your journal. You need to have your date and your time so that you can find patterns. You can find how often you get anxious and how often you get triggered. What things make you feel less trusting, what things make you feel okay, yeah, I can trust. What are those things? You can't find them out unless you know when they happen. You can space it out when you know when they happen, but if you don't know when they happen, then it just looks random. Look, you're just reading along. And you're like, oh, hey, here was a time where I was triggered, but I don't know anything about what time of day it was and what was happening and what was going on that made me triggered. I could find out that every single day at 8:22 p.m., I'm going to be freaking out. All right. You could find that out from your journal if you're writing in your journal. All right. Hey, Sherry, glad you're here. Hello, hello. Thanks for stopping in. We are on the healing path tonight, girl. Ask me any questions you got. I'm ready for you. All right. So the next thing, besides doing your journal, oh wait, level of anxiety 0 to 10. 0 is no anxiety whatsoever. You are fine. All is right with the world. 10 is as big as it can, and that is a loss of control. That is, I want to rip my hair out, tear my clothes off, and screaming down the street naked. Okay, you are beyond at that point. So chances are, if you're sitting down with your journal, you're not a 10. You're not beyond at that point. So if you've not lost control of yourself, you're not at a 10. Now you have a fence around these feelings. Now they can only get a 10 big. That's as big as they can possibly get. And it's manageable. You can do something with that if you've got that rating scale going on in your head. But the level of anxiety at the beginning of the post or the beginning of your journal entry and then the bottom of your journal entry too, you will find a lot of the time when you sat down and written it out and just thought about it for a second, your anxiety level goes down. You could be at a 7 and then all of a sudden you could be at a 5. That's progress in 5 minutes. Okay. We need the quick stuff. We need stuff to work now. We can't just be continuously stressed the hell out like that. All right. Next thing, and I'm always going to tell you to do this. I want you to practice gratitude. Okay. Every single day. I need you to be looking for something you are grateful for. All right. Like I said, I think I said this last week. I am grateful for Yana and her summer collection. Look at this. Look how pretty that is. Oh, and it looked pretty on me. Girl, I'm trying to tell you, I'm grateful for this popsicle. All right. I am grateful for water and being able to drink large amounts of water all day and it making me feel better when I actually drink water versus when I don't drink water and I feel like crap. I am grateful for cell phones. I'm grateful for my husband and my children. I'm grateful for the home we live in. There is 1,000 things in a day that you could be grateful for. If you can't find any, your brain is altered. There's something going on with you behind this trauma that is not allowing you to see those things. So if you can start focusing on that, giving yourself a couple minutes first thing when you're reading your journal, put 5 things at the top of the journal page that you're grateful for that day. Simple, right? And you can repeat them, but you want to be grateful for variety because there's a lot of good things going on for you. When you can be grateful, you can get out of misery faster. We can't jump straight from misery to I am perfectly happy and trusting and everything is beautiful. That's a big it's too big a jump for us to make. So we've got to get that bridging step with a little bit of gratitude, being thankful, coming out of the misery and seeing without a doubt, we know for sure this is a good thing in our lives. We can be grateful for it. We don't have to be afraid of it. We can go ahead and say that we're grateful. When you start doing that, your brain starts looking for other things to be grateful for. It doesn't keep on looking for all the bad like it did when you were traumatized. That trauma is what makes your brain look for the bad all the time. All right. So we've got to interrupt that by looking for the good, looking for things to be grateful for. So I always post Thirsty Thursday. I always want to hear about the good stuff that is happening in your lives. I want to share it with you, and I want to share it on the live so we can all celebrate with you. Because good stuff is good stuff, even when you're going through bad stuff. Good stuff is good stuff. All right. So Selena said, "Oh, let me see what she said. Let's see." She said her husband has been on a saving the world kick, saving the planet kick. He kept encouraging me to look at cars that were so tiny to save on gas. We compromised last night and I was able to trade in my 3-row Pathfinder for hybrid sedan. Cool. Both of us are happy and I'm not driving a crown car. Win-win. I know that's right. It's just like, look, that's too itty bitty. It's too itty bitty for me too. I'm like, I want to save the planet and all electric. I know, but whoo, boy. But you got a hybrid, and it's a sedan, so it's got some room. Hey, you can stretch out and help save the planet. I know that's right, girl. Good. I'm so glad that's going on for you. For anybody else, if you got something good, tell me about it. Let me share it with everybody so that you can experience the love and the warmth of everybody being happy for you at the same time. It's a good thing, right? All right, and the last thing that I want you to be doing, and this is gonna be hard, which is stop asking all them doggone questions. All right, I know you want to ask all. I know your brain is screaming at you, saying, "You ask this, you answer to this. If he's not talking about this, we just done." I know that your brain is screaming at you about that. I'm here to tell you that your brain is trying to trick you. Okay, your brain is only interested in those things because you've been traumatized. Your brain is struggling to understand the trauma. How did this happen? We were in such a good place. We were happy. And then all of a sudden, he did something so stupid. He hurt me so bad. What the hell was this? And so that's what it tries to do. It tries to ask a lot of questions. That happens with every trauma, okay? You want to know why this happened. You want to know every single detail around the situation. You go over it, you talk about it. That's every single trauma, not just this one. But we have to interrupt that automatic response that our brain is putting out so that we can stay sane. Because if you find out the answer to these questions, honey, you're going to be so sorry. You don't want to know the answer to these questions. You don't want to know. You don't want to know what position they have placed in. You don't want to know if he said that he loved her. It is not necessary for you to be healed for you to know all those details. Your brain is going to tell you that you need all those details to heal. It is lying, okay? Your brain has been affected by a trauma. It will lie to you right now. It lies to you on a daily basis, as a matter of fact. I always tell people, right in the center of your vision, right this second, there is a blank spot. There's a dark spot in your vision because of where your eyeball is attached to the nerve. And You can't see it. All right. Your brain just lies to you. It just fills that hole in, even though it is a very real thing. Your brain is like, that's disturbing, and fills it in and makes you imagine that you are seeing an entire picture right now. You are not. Okay. Your brain is making that up. It is supplying you with the picture. Okay. So our brains will lie to us. Let's not even just act like they will. They are just so honest with us. Our brains will lie to us. Okay. They lie to us on a day to day basis. So we cannot just believe any old thing that our brain is telling us. And our brain is telling us that, oh, you need all of these painful, horrid details just so you can feel is a lie. You don't need them. The less detail you get, the better. All right. You know you got cheated on. Like, what what more is there? Everybody always wants to try and make it be a greater or lesser thing. Oh, well, he was just texting, so that's not such a big deal as if he was having a full blown affair and he had a baby with them. It is all you got cheated on. Okay, it is all from the very least offense to the very most offense. And you see that I said texting and stuff because I really only consider like inappropriate talking with somebody else, uh, at, like another person. I don't consider porn cheating. I don't. I know that there are plenty of people who have porn addictions, and at that point, yes, it is cheating because you are abandoning your relationship for something else. Yes, with that, but I don't think just looking at porn is cheating from the get go. All right, just so you know. But we are whatever um, area of the spectrum you are on, from greatest to least offense. It's all just you got cheated on. Like no detail makes it better. There's no detail that you could know that make you say, "Oh, okay, well, yeah, I guess I can handle it a little bit better because that detail was the kicker." No, it doesn't work like that. You're going to be hurt anyway. You're going to be stressed anyway. You got to heal anyway. There is no need to compound your pain by adding all those details on top of it. So instead of doing that, all right, may I suggest the and. Let's the and. This is from the skindeep.com. It is a great game to play. This one is the healing edition. It is 199 questions that you can sit down and ask your honey back and forth. You only maybe need like three of them. You don't even need like a whole handful of cards. You don't need the whole deck. Maybe three, maybe four of them in an afternoon where you just sit there and trade ideas and thoughts back and forth. That's it. That's all you need. All right. You do not need extra than that, or else you're going to overwhelm him and you're going to overwhelm yourself. You don't need all that information in one single day. All right. Not in one sitting. All right. Got to be reasonable about it. So I'll give you a couple of these questions. All right. You all let me know if you got any good stuff, you have anything positive that is going on in your life that you want to talk about, and with you. Karen, hey Karen. Karen said, I know way too much. All I know is I'm still here and taking it day by day. Girl, the information, man, the information is painful. It's too much. It's like you get all this extra information, and then you're like, okay, well, what do I do with this now? All right. I'm already planning on staying, so now I've just hurt my feelings as much as I possibly could, and I'm staying. What you want? All right, Sherry. I get these cards from the Amazon. Amazon, girl. Amazon got it all. All right, right here. The and if you put that in, you will find their shop. All right. All right. So let's come up with some other questions. Let's do some good ones here. What's the hardest thing for you about our relationship? That's a fair enough question. That might lead into some sad territory. What's the hardest thing for you about our relationship? However, you are talking. We are just talking about what we're thinking about. What's the hardest thing for you about our relationship? Let's just begin talking about our relationship. What's hard for them? What's hard for you? You know what I mean? You may not know that. Another question is, what do you think I need to hear? I like that one. What do you think I need to hear from you? And what do you think I need to hear from you? It's a good one. And heck, you would be surprised, like flip it around. And you're like, okay, you ask him, well, what do you think I need to hear from you? And you'll find out what he thinks that he needs to say to you. And then if he asks you though, what do you think he needs to hear from you? What do you think? What do you think? You know, it is a thinker. It gives you a little bit of something other than this trauma to focus your brain on. All right. And especially not those terrible questions that hurt your feelings. All right. And then this one is, how do you know when I'm truly present with you? Oh, see, that's hard for me because it's hard for me to stay present. It is. I am Oh, I don't know. I think I have ADHD. I've been thinking that for like this last year. I need to probably get a diagnosis, but I don't know. Like, how do I show my husband I'm present? Because sometimes I can be zoned out and like I'm still like putting my hand on him, patting him, responding to the TV. It sounds like I know what I'm talking about, and I don't. I don't know. I'm gonna ask my husband now. That's a good one. How do you know when I'm truly present? How do you know when I'm truly present with you? And how do you know when I am truly present? Right? So good questions, right? And not better than the questions that you were going to ask. Like, wouldn't you rather know the answers to those questions than the questions about the affair? Honestly, it is so much healthier for you. Okay. We do not need to sit there and suffer. All right. We don't need to do that to ourselves. That is unnecessary. Don't ask all those questions. Okay. Does that make sense to you? Let me know. If I'm sounding crazy, I completely understand, but give me a chance to explain it to you. Give me a chance to make it make sense if it does. All right. Let's see. Let's see. So that's the basics right there. That is the that you can do right now and every day that is going to help you. It's going to help you feel better. You're not going to be stressing so much. You're not going to be angry as much. You're regularly doing your deep breathing, doing your journaling, being grateful for things, and coming back to not asking all those questions. Okay? Alright, fantastic. Glad we got to talk about that. Now let's get to some questions, shall we? I know we got some questions out here. I know we got them. All right, let's see. I'm gonna start with the bottom for this time. I usually start at the top. I'm gonna start at the bottom of the post. Every week, usually on Wednesday, but I skipped it this week because I was overwhelmed with the challenge stuff. But every week I post that, hey, look, what do you want to talk about? And you can find it in my Facebook group. So if you want to talk to me about something on the live and you don't know if you can make it, or you just want to hear me say your name and say your question and then talk to me about it, I'm here for that. Okay, go ahead and post it on in the group. Usually it's in the pinned post, in the featured post. All right, Ria, we're gonna start from the bottom here. Ria, she said, putting a GPS tracker on for the second time to ensure he is being honest. Woo, you said you got the memo. You've been waiting for this all week. Rhea, I'm going to hurt your feelings. You're not going to like this. Don't put that GPS on him. He is not a dog. Stop tracking him. Stop doing it. That is not the relationship that you want. Okay. You're saying, I don't trust you. And I don't trust you enough that I have to have some machinery on you to make sure that I can tell where you are from minute to minute. That is not building your trust. It does not help. And you will not think that he's honest because you're already starting off from he's not honest. So it doesn't matter what the information says. It could say that he's always in the right place. And you could kind of sort of believe that, but a lot of people who get that information don't believe it anyway. So you could do it, but it won't help. Now, you got to trust him. I don't know if you've been participating in the trust issues challenge this week, but that's what we were talking about. You got to make up in your mind one thing that you're just like, screw it, I'm going to trust him on that. And if that is the big thing for you, that's probably the thing that you should choose. Don't put a GPS tracker on him. Don't be sitting there obsessing over your phone. Where is he? What neighborhood is this? It's too much for you. It is not going to help you heal. It's going to make you go crazy. And then he's going to be looking at you like you're crazy, and then you're going to be mad because he's after it. Okay? Let's not do that. Let's not track them down. That's stalker material. Okay? Back in the day, that would have been the craziest thing. Oh, I put a GPS tracker on my mate to make sure I know where they are at all times. That would have been abusive. That's kind of psycho. We gotta stop doing psycho stuff. We gotta stop. It's just not cute. All right. And then it makes you look super insecure and it shows him, I don't trust you. So there's no need for you to do the right things because I'm not going to trust you anyway. So you can run around and do whatever the hell you want because it's not like you're going to gain my trust anyway. That's what you're showing them. All right. Don't do that to yourself. It's a terrible thing to do. All right. Does that make sense? Let me know. Again, if I sound crazy, let me know. But trust me, that GPS thing, it just drives you nuts. You just sitting there with your phone tracking him. Ooh, girl, don't you have nothing else to do? I got too much stuff to do in my life to be sitting there being his warden, tracking him like I'm tracking his ankle monitor after he got out of jail. What? No, that's not cool. We got to stop. All right. If you need help with stopping that, let me know. I will help you. Okay. Yeah, Karen, you said the trust issue challenge is helpful. So very helpful. I am so glad. I'm glad that it is good for you. This is like the fifth, I think this is the fifth annual 19, 20, 21, yeah, fifth annual trust issue challenge. We have been doing this thing. We've been talking about the trust. We've been breaking it down. We've been breaking down all the stupidity that we have around trust. We've been breaking down, our false beliefs around trust. We've been breaking down those fearful thoughts about trust. So you gotta go ahead and jump in on it if you really want to. These videos will only be up until Wednesday. So if you want to get in on it, you gotta get on it now. All right. Yes, indeed, Angela. Thank you for telling her. Angela, our wonderful moderator. Round of applause for Angela being my moderator out here. She be on it. She be on stuff before I get to it. I be like, oh, thank you. I knew that was Angela. But if people got in the group or people's questions got approved fast, that was Angela, wasn't it? All right, let's see. All right, what other questions we got here? Kathy said, see you, Angela. Kathy said, I want to get her out of my head. She used to be a friend and lives across the street. It sucks. All of that sucked. Every part of that question sucked. Oh, Kathy, I'm so sorry about that. Woo, she's stuck in your head. She was your friend, and she lives right across the street. That's a lot. All right. That might be one of those situations where I consider moving. Me and my husband, we didn't move away like right after the cheating. We moved a few years later down the line, and it was actually really good for us getting to a new place. Nobody knew either one of us. It was, no baggage. But her living across the street, I don't want you to feel like you have to run away. I don't want you to feel like that. I want you to get it in your head, Kathy, that you were the queen, that she saw you were the queen and she tried so hard to take your spot. And that's so sad. Little peasant girl really thought she could be you. But, I want you to start thinking about it in that term of she was always just trying to be you. That's all it was. She saw how wonderful your life was and she tried to ruin it. And some people who are our friends do that, okay? People that love us can still all do very lame shit to us. I posted that in the group the other day. They can do that, but that is just a sign that she was feeling insecure and she thought that maybe, just maybe, if she could live your life, then she would be as worthy as you are. And unfortunately, that is not the case. Well, unfortunately for her, I don't mind if a side chick got hurt in the situation. But you just got to recognize that, all right, for the time being, we are living across the street from each other. And every time she pops into your head, you tell your brain, no, no, nope, we're not doing that. Not right now. We are not going to sit here and waste our time with her. We're not going to sit here and waste our moments that we could be happy on thinking about her. That's ridiculous. She's a peasant girl. She does not deserve that much attention. And then you turn your mind, you focus on something else. If your mind wanders back to her, you do the same exact thing. It's an exercise, consistently training your brain. Our brains listen to us. We are not our brains, okay? You can think thoughts that don't have anything to do with what you were thinking or what you wanted. Your brain does this stuff kind of on autopilot. You are the thinker, okay? Your brain is the thoughts. It will give you the thoughts and everything, but you are the one who observes the thoughts. So you are the one who controls the thoughts. Don't believe that your brain is just doing this and you can't do anything to stop it. That's I think is more than anything is key number one to get her out of your head. Stop believing that your brain can just make you think about something. It cannot. You have the choice about what you want to think about, and you can tell your brain, no, no, not doing that, not going over there, not worried about that effort. We are not doing it because I'm the queen. Peasant girl tried to be me. Of course, she would want to be me. If I was you, I'd want to be me too, as Megan Trainor said. Okay, we are not going to sit here and trouble ourselves about that. Of course, she wanted to be you. Of course, she did. Duh. Duh. You got to just have that attitude about it and then tell your brain that you're not even going to concern yourself further because, of course, she was supposed to want to be you. All right. Does that make sense? Let me know. It's an attitude. Okay. It is an attitude that you got to cultivate. All right. You got to believe you are the queen and peasant girls, try it. All right. Angela, you're looking at moving? Cool. Get closer to my job and out of this country and away from it all. I know this. I know that's right, girl. Go ahead and go for it. I say if you can't go move, make a big move with your honey, go for it. Like we made two big moves. One when things were going terribly and it went terribly, and then one when we were recovering and it went great. So, if you were starting to recover, you starting to get better, things are getting better between you. You can look at that. You can look at that as a real possibility. You do not have to stay stuck in the same place. All right. You are not required to do that. Damn it, right, Karen? You are the queen, right? It's a whole attitude. You got to ingest it. You got to just feel it from the inside. And so what? So what? She's across the street. Of course, she should be looking in on my life that she tried so hard to have. Yeah, from the outside, she should be looking at it. Yeah, she should. All right. Every time. And somebody said, I think it was a comedian, I think it might have been Cat Williams, that said, every time you have a hater, you need to get 7 laughs off a hater. Ha 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 ha. Every single time. All right. It needs to be just every time count out 7 laughs for a hater. All right. She's a hater. That's what she is. All right. She's trying so hard to be a friend, but she's really a hater. I'm trying to say, man, they be out here. Angela, you said I have to brag on my 17-year-old son. When school starts back, he will be a senior, but he went to a job interview. A job in the ambulance service as a dispatcher. And he started EMT school Monday night. Brag on your baby, Angela. I hear that. Go ahead. Oh, I know he's excited. Just being a dispatcher is exciting. EMT, whoo, that's a little rush. But just being a dispatcher and talking to everybody is kind of deep. So I'm proud of him too. Tell him good job from all of us. I know that's some Thirsty Thursday. That's some good news. Good things is happening. All right. Love it. All right. Let's see what other questions we got. Lulu. Lulu said, I'm going forwards. I'm in a bad place right now. My husband out for addiction. See, I was talking about that and cheat on me with a stripper while he visited strip clubs on a business trip. I need support. How can I get over my marriage? Oh, girl, I don't tell you how to get over it. That is not my place. If you want to stay, you want to work it out, and you're like, okay, no, I don't really want to get divorced. I'm not going to talk to. But just how you get over it and how you become a divorcee, I don't know. I don't have that skill set. Never been divorced. I ain't doing it. I knew from the gate that I just wasn't. I knew that if anything went wrong, we were just gonna have to work it out because I wasn't signing any papers. And whatever the papers I signed to get me in, that's the last ones I was signing. So I don't have that information. This whole group is just about staying and working it out. So if you want to stay and work it out, you can. Him, porn addiction. If he's on business trips on a regular basis, I can see how the porn might have entered the picture. And then, of course, with the stripper, I bet you that was with poor qualities too, wasn't it? They be going out and just trying to have loosen themselves up and everything after a long day. But it's not the best habit. So business trips is the thing. If we can find a way to be home a little bit more, it probably work out. But I don't know the whole situation on that, Lulu. But I'm hoping, and I'm a hold out hope that you could work it out. All right, Joni. Joni said, "How to get over thinking all the time that my husband still might be with his AP. I can't get past this, that she stalked me on social media. So he said that freaked him out, and he started talking to her again so she would leave me alone. I can't for the life of me believe that story. If he didn't talk to her for 5 months, what he looked for me? That should have been his time to tell me the truth. I'm struggling also with self-image. Okay, we'll come back to the self-image one, but the whole queen thing that goes into the self-image thing. But that was his time to tell you the truth. He wasn't trying to tell you the truth. He did not want you to know that. He did not want you to find out. That's the thing. You're missing it. You think that, oh, well, if he loved me, he would want to tell me how badly he fucked up. That's not true. It's not true. He is not going to tell you that. If they can possibly help it, they're not going to say anything. Most of the time, we find out because we find out, not because they told us. My husband told me like the very first time he ever cheated, but I had to find out on my own. Okay, most men are not trying to tell you that. They're not going to try and tell you, oh, hey, that I got away with something, but I just want to let you know about it. Nobody's doing that. Who does that? Do you do that? Do you get away with something and then come back and tell on yourself? No. Okay. He was not trying to have you know that. And that doesn't mean that he wanted to hurt you. That doesn't mean that he just wanted to be sneaky with you. It means that he didn't want to hurt you. It means that he did not want you to know that information. And then this heifer running around behind your back and his, stalking you is scary. All right. He did not want to tell you about that. And he knows, oh Lord, you're going to want to talk to her. And she's a loony already out here stalking you. He knew that was a bad idea. He knew that was a bad combination. That is a volatile situation. He should probably try and avoid that if he can. And that's what happened. Okay. I know it's hard for you to get over it. I know it's hard for you to believe it, but that's exactly what happened. He did not want you to know about it. And so, of course, he wouldn't say anything. All right. And he said, I can't for the life of me believe that story. It does sound, that is one of the things that happens all the time. That is a very, very common situation that happens with a ton of the people that I work with. The other woman is out here on Facebook, out here on Instagram, stalking, taking screenshots, sending that stuff to him. Like, see, I can reach out and touch your wife at any time. You better do what I want you to do. That's what that all comes down to. There's a whole bunch of crazy chicks out here. Don't get it twisted, okay? There's plenty of them out here. And so he was probably thinking that he was going to protect you from her because he's the one that brought her into the situation in the first place. So yeah, he should feel responsible for protecting you. Oh, and he said he didn't talk to her for 5 months. So what if she looked for me? Girl, you like, so what? That is concerning. That is something you need to be nervous about, okay? That is not okay. Her stalking you on Facebook, that is not cool. And as far as self-image, you've got to think of yourself as the queen in this situation. You have got to think of yourself as beautiful, radiant, incredible, intelligent, wonderful in all ways, shapes, and forms. Okay. What did Mary Poppins say? Practically perfect in every way. All right. That's where we're at. We got to feel like that about ourselves. Because honestly, if we don't feel like that about ourselves, who's going to feel like that about us? All right. How will somebody else know how much you're worth if you're not the one saying it? If you're not the one coming across and saying how wonderful you are, who else is going to do it? Nobody. All right. You just have really terrible self esteem. Terrible. I am a big girl. You can probably nobody can really tell on the video, but you can see in my video in my picture that I posted for my birthday. I'm not a little girl, okay? I am 6 feet tall. I'm a big chick, okay? And I used to walk around. High school really screwed me up, and I would keep my head down and think that everybody was just staring at me. And then after high school, still the same thing. Everybody's staring at me. Okay, it's hard to freaking miss me. Okay, let's just say it like that. I am head and shoulders taller than most girls around me, and I'm bigger. Okay, so I look like everybody's mama. All right, but it's hard to miss me. I was thinking automatically that everybody who was looking at me was thinking that I'm just so ugly and I'm just such a giant, and oh, they think that I'm so awkward and so weird. Okay, I'm thinking all of that with absolutely no reason. There is no evidence of that whatsoever. Nobody has ever walked up to me and said that. Nobody has ever, even in high school, when it was terrible, it still wasn't like that. People weren't coming up to me and saying anything such as that. So I thought about it in my early 20s and I was like, hey, what if I'm lying to myself? Because what I was doing was mind reading. It is a form of overthinking and stressing yourself out, believing that you know in your head what other people are thinking in their heads. That's delusional. We don't have that particular skill as people. So when I would go about this, I would be mind reading, thinking that, oh, they're thinking such terrible things about me. And then I'm internalizing that, feeling terrible about myself. Okay. So I flipped it around one day. I was like, what if I am lying to myself? Because I don't know what these people are thinking. I think I found out the concept of mind reading is an overthinking. And I was like, well, what if I'm just lying? What if I'm delusional? What if I'm just making this up in my head that they're thinking this stuff about me? What if when they're looking at me, they are thinking how gorgeous I am, how exotic and how amazing I am, how I am. I look like an Amazon walking around. How about that? How about that instead of terrible, you hate me, you are looking at me as a poor example. Okay, instead of that, we are looking at you because oh my God, I get to see Dasha today. Oh my God, I was so lucky she was on my bus. All right. You know, why couldn't it be that? And so I started to do that. I started to think that, turn that around. I am the thinker of the thought. So I'm in control of the thought. And I stopped thinking, oh, they think such terrible things about me. And I started getting off of every bus. I started getting out of every car, walking down every street, like flashing lights were supposed to go off. Like I needed my shades to keep me safe from the paparazzi because everybody wants to see me. Everybody wants to know me. Everybody loves me. What if I thought that? And I started thinking that. And guess what happened? People started liking me. People started treating me differently. People started waving and trying to get my attention and saying hi to me on the street where they wouldn't have spoken before. So it was just a change in, okay, everybody's thinking so terrible things too. Everybody's thinking such marvelous things about me. Having that attitude, putting that on like a coat and wearing that every single solitary day made people start to act like that. Now, I am a big proponent of you change the world around you. I don't know if that actually worked with strangers. I don't know if I just paid more attention to the positive attention that I got after I started thinking that, but it worked for me. All right. It felt different than it had when I was thinking terrible things about myself. So you are the thinker of the thoughts. You can change that around. You decide how you feel about you. Okay? Nobody else gets to tell you how good you are, how great you are, how bad you are. Nobody gets to do that. Just because he cheated on you does not make you any less of anything. That was his mistake. We got to stop taking responsibility for other people's mistakes. Okay? That was his mistake. That wasn't anything that you had responsibility for. That was he had responsibility for. So that doesn't make you the bad one. That doesn't make you less than. That doesn't make you not enough. It just means that this is another person, and sometimes other people need things. Sometimes, you can't be enough for a whole other person. That's a lot to ask. That's a lot to ask to be enough for a whole other person. The only whole person you need to be enough for is you. That's it. That's it. That's all you need to do is be enough for you. Live your life under your terms. Get the future that you want. Behave in the way that gets you the things that make you happy. Otherwise, what are we living for? What are we out here doing? Listening to other people? Have you met other people? I'm gonna do that. I recorded that TikTok. I've gotta go. I gotta go put that up. Like, have you met other people? Have you really, seriously, you're gonna let other people determine how you feel about yourself? No, we have got to decide for ourselves that we are goddesses walking this planet. Anybody that gets to know us is a very privileged person indeed, and then we need to act that part. Okay, if you're gonna be the main character, be the main character. In every fairy tale. All right. All the princesses are worthy. They're interesting. They have things going on for themselves. Okay. All right. Even Rapunzel. Rapunzel was freaking kidnapped and put in a tower, but she had dreams and hopes. She had things that she wanted to do. Okay. Ariel, she was down there. She was already searching through shipwrecks before she ever met that man. All right. Before she ever saw his face, she was down here searching through shipwrecks, trying to be part of a different world. All right. Belle, princesses. Oh, Belle was out here reading when people was looking at her like, why is she reading? What is this girl doing? Why is she always in a book? Ew. But she wanted to be bigger and better than she was. All right. Before these princes came along, the princesses were fucking fabulous on their own. Okay. We've got to start remembering the beginning of the story. All right. We gotta start doing that. Poor Sleeping Beauty, she was out here cleaning, scrubbing, taking care of the whole house. This is a big old manor house, okay? These people was well off. She taking care of the entire place all by herself. And she was like, I want to go to the party, so I'm gonna have to make my dress. I'm gonna have to go ahead and hook that up before the party goes down. It made her dress and was ready to go to the ball, have some fun, hang out. She didn't say, "Oh, I want to meet the prince." She said, "I just want to go to the party." Right? All of our princesses, we are something before these men ever get to us. Okay, you got to remember who you are without that. All right, you got to remember that you were the princess to begin with. Now you the queen. Now you out here doing your own thing, running your own country. Okay, does that make sense? You gotta get that attitude. It's an attitude. It really is. All right. So I don't see any other questions. Any other questions, comments, thoughts, complaints, anything else you want me to answer? Things that are going on, things you feel bad about, things you're mystified about, anything at all? I am here for a couple more things. Well, since there's nothing posted right now. Okay, wait a minute, Rita. Hey, 1 minute. There you go. No judgment, please. No, ain't no judgment with me. Ain't no judgment with me. I'm 3 months past D-Day. We are in marriage counseling. He has kept to my non-negotiables. He's sharing his location, but I feel triggered a lot. You feel triggered a lot because you're watching his location. Don't do that. Before I found out about the emotional affair, I embarrassingly put a GPS tracker on his car. After 2 weeks, I took it off because, although insightful, it came with a lot of stress. Girl, yeah, it's too stressful. Don't do it. After 2 weeks, I took it off because, although insightful, it came with a lot of stress. I'm in healing marriage and love after cheating support groups, and at times I find them triggering and making me think maybe I should put it back on. Oh, the GPS. I told myself if I ever had to do this, then we can't be together. There are no red flags except for the trauma of his betrayal. Please help talk sense to me. Rhea, put the GPS down. Stop tricking him like a dog. Okay? Hey Kelly. Hey Kelly, Rhea, I see you over there. Um, Stop. Don't do it. Don't do it. You know that it's stressful, all right? And you know all of this time, okay, he's been doing what he said he's gonna do. in marriage counseling and you're about to sabotage it. That's what's happening. Something is going right? Is that what's happening right now? Things are going right and you feel super uncomfortable that they're going right? It sounds like that's what it is. It's not that anything is going wrong. It's that your brain is screaming that you should check him. You should know he's untrustworthy. Don't do it. All right. I know that that's what your brain is screaming, but if things have been going well, let them go well. All right. You don't have to sabotage it. Okay. You think about it. You know. Okay. He is cut to your non-negotiables, and a lot of them don't do that. Okay. He's sharing his location. He is he was trustworthy enough that you were able to take the GPS off in the first place. All right. You're in the groups. He's out here doing marriage counseling with you, and there are no red flags. All right. All of that adds up to say that things are going well and your brain is freaking out about it. All right. That will happen periodically. That will happen as you are starting to heal. Your brain doesn't like you healing. Okay. Because you don't need your brain to do what it does if you're healing. You don't need it to freak out. You don't need it to do fight or flight. You don't need to do all of that if you're healing. All right. So you got to just get control of yourself. Hold tight and understand that you're only doing it because things are going well. All right. That's the only reason that you have thought of this at all is because things are going well and it made you uncomfortable. That's it. All right. That makes sense? You say he's reading a book the therapist recommended. Girl, I can't get my husband to do none of that. I healed without all of that. Okay. Let me just tell you, he's doing all the things, okay? Don't go sabotaging it by putting the GPS on him, and then you're going to be all in his face about where he has been. What are you doing? Why did you stop here? And then you're showing him that doing the right things is not good enough. You're showing him that he shouldn't do the right things because you're still not going to trust him anyway. Is that the message that you want to send? You want to send a message to him that I'm so scared because you're saying I'm terrified. I'm so scared of you that I don't believe the good things that you are doing. I won't ever trust the good things that you are doing. You might as well go on and cheat because I'm never going to believe you anyway. Is that the message that you want to send? Because if he was treating you like he was terrified of you, you'd be hurt, right? So we need to stop that. We need to get control. We need to recognize that things are going well. He is doing the right things. There is no need for you to sabotage it. There's no need for that. It is okay to open yourself back up because that's what happened. You started letting yourself open up a little bit and it freaked you right out. That's what happens as you're healing because your body and your brain are like, no, because if you open it up, it can hurt you again. Sure, sure, that could happen, but it hurts not opening up. So might as well go ahead and be with who you want to be with and open up to them instead of trying to keep that stuff, keep yourself shut down. You know, good. That's not the message you want to send. Good. Right? He's sending you 3 things he appreciates about you once a week. Damn, he's doing all the things, Rita. He's doing it. It's going well. That's all it is. You need to start reminding yourself, cope with it like this. Things are going well. He is doing everything that I could possibly need. Now I have to do my part. Okay? That is the thing. Being terrified of things going right. I know, girl. I know. It is a physiological response. It's not just in your head. It is your brain saying, "Oh no, you're starting to get too close. You're starting to open back up. I'm scared." And it tries to shut everything down. So it is not that. All right. Don't be afraid. Go ahead and go for it. Just go ahead and open yourself up. It is scary. Yes, it is, but it's worth it. All right. I promise you it's worth it. And it's a heck of a lot better than living like this. All right. Make sense? Jody, can you explain what limerence is and how do you know someone is there or okay, or over it? You see, you still trying to make him be in love with her. Stop it. Limerence is what happens is everybody has the same stages that they go through falling in love. Falling in love is a chemical reaction. It is a hormonal thing. You find somebody that is attractive to you, that is biochemically a good match for you, and you start to fall for them. Most people don't even recognize that that's what's happening, but most people start to fall and they go into the infatuation phase. In the infatuation phase, you got all these hormones going. You got the dopamine popping off. You got everything feeling all good. And for men too, you get this extra boost in testosterone because it's a new woman. Um, and they get stuck in that. That's all it is. It's a hormonal thing. It is the drug that your body produces as you start to fall in love, as you start to feel infatuation. That is the first stage of love, but it's not real love. It's not real committed, I want to be with you love. It is, ooh, I'm into you kind of love. And that's where everybody starts off, but you and him have built beyond that. You have built to a more stable and this is real, this is committed love. All right, it's two different things. You don't have all the hormones helping you for the committed love. The hormones are going for the infatuation. And that's what happens. They get stuck in the infatuation phase. It's like a drug. Whatever it is that is wrong inside them, whatever it is that hurt them, and we were talking about the why and the trust issues challenge, whatever it is that was hurting them, the hormonal fix of this new person makes them feel like, oh, the pain is gone. And then they fall all deeply into feeling better. They're not in love with the person. They're in love with the fact that this person made the pain go away for a little while. That this was a distraction from the pain. That's what they're in love with. That's what they're infatuated with. Not that person as an individual, because chances are they don't know that person as an individual. They don't know them. They are just kind of getting into this whole thing with them, falling all into it, and then they kind of get stuck there. Their hormones are all off. And then when you catch them, they're like, but no, my feelings are so strong for her because their hormones are gone. All right. That's usually all it is. And the bad part about that is you can look at them and be like, dude, it's just some hormones. You just wanted to screw her. That's it. That's all that was. And then they'll be like, no, no, you are trying to deny my love because everybody who is under the influence of those hormones believes that they're real. So the more you're like, this isn't real, she's not who you should be with, the more his body and his brain are like, oh, she's so wonderful. She's the one. Because the more you try and convince somebody that their feelings aren't real, the stronger they feel. All right. So that's what it is with limerence. That's what it is. It is pretty easy to tell when they're over it. When they are still in limerence, they are very withdrawn. Even if they're with you, they're like thinking about them. They're sad. But they can also be like that because you're miserable and trying to make them miserable. So and that's always a hard thing to figure out. So my solution for that is don't worry about that. That is not your business. Don't worry about him and his emotions. Okay. If he is in limerence, let him be. All right. It will fall off. It will go away eventually. Your hormones go back to normal. You don't have to worry about that part. You being all concerned about that reinforces those feelings and makes them think that they're real even more. So you take your hands off of that. Back right on up off of that. Don't worry about his limerence. Don't worry about his feelings. As long as the two of us are here and we're sitting eye to eye and we're like, look, we are going to be together. That's all you need to worry about. And you just do your part. You do your part of healing. You do your part of still loving, allowing that healing to happen. And then you let him do his part of leaving her alone. And it will fade off. It doesn't stay as long as people think it does. That makes sense? Shoni, let me know. Does that answer your question? Well, it's hard to tell. It's hard to tell when they're still in it because if you're miserable and you're pissed off at them on a regular basis and you're always arguing with them, it's hard to tell that if they're sad about the girl being gone or if they're sad about the fact that they chose to be with you and you're still looking like you might not want to be with them. Right? So it's a little difficult to cope with. It is. You said it always makes sense. I try, girl. I try. It was from personal experience and from being wrong a whole bunch because I thought of it completely differently. I think about it the way you all think about it. I was like that when it happened, but I realized that everything that everybody was telling me was not correct. It was not helping me heal. It was not helping us get closer. It wasn't stopping him from cheating. I was like, well, what the hell am I doing? All of these things that people say I should be doing. I got to do something different. And I started doing the exact opposite of like all of the things that people told me to do. It was like, well, he needs to decide whether he wants to be with you or not. Oh, hell no. He don't get to make that decision. Oh, no. He has already shown that he can't make good decisions right now. All right. So I'm gonna make the decision that we gonna be together and he's gonna stop seeing this chick. That's what I'm making the decision. I'm saying that that's what's gonna happen. And when I took that over and I stopped looking at him and stopped trying to wait on him to be like, oh, but I want to be with you so bad. I'm willing to just behave myself. Instead of waiting for him to make that decision, I made the decision, started working out better. All right. Then, of course, the fear speech struck in. And it was like, oh, you're making this decision, but he doesn't really want to be with you. He's just going along to get along. Just because you said he was going to be with you, don't mean he's going to be with you. Gotta overcome that fear speech. Gotta overcome it and recognize that I'm a bad bitch. He better want to be with me. Of course he would want to be with me. Why wouldn't he want to be with me? All right. I am wonderful. I am excellent to him. I am a great wife. I am a great mom. No. All right. I'm not gonna sit here and be afraid of the decision I made. I know who I got and I intend for this to work out. All right. So everything, it was just constantly recognizing that all of the things that people were telling me were just complete crap and didn't work. Like, all of the things, all of them, all of the cliche things that they say are not true, don't work. If you want to stay, if you want to get rid of them, if you just don't want to be with them anymore, it's fine to listen to your friends and family and be like, girl, get him to the car. I don't know why you in here. He's just gonna treat you bad. You should know better. You just gonna be a doormat. If you don't want to be with him, okay, listen to that. But if you do want to be with him, you got to be thinking the exact opposite of all his thoughts. I'm no doormat. I'm a grown ass woman who knows exactly what she wants, and I'm going for it. I'm gonna have the person that I want, the relationship that I want. That's what you need to do. You got to have that attitude about it. All right. Let's see, Johnny, you said, so we began to have sex immediately after I found out is that a good thing or a bad thing? I'm all for sex. I am all for some sex for some healing, okay? I was just talking about how the hormones play into the whole, him getting all into this relationship or whatever. When you activate those hormones with the two of you, okay, you're getting now. Okay, it's a little different. They will feel more testosterone with a different woman than with the woman they're in love with. A lot of the time, that's what it's all about. They will feel that lack of testosterone with us and think that they don't have passion for us, when in fact, it has changed over from us producing testosterone with them in them to us producing oxytocin in them. Oxytocin is that feeling that you feel when you're holding your baby, when you're cradling your baby, that warm, fuzzy feeling. They get that for us and not the really strong, masculine, manly testosterone feeling. And so they think that that means that, oh, I must not be in love with her anymore because that hormone change happens and they calm down and they start to settle down. They think that they're supposed to always feel all that testosterone all the time. But the problem with that is testosterone makes you stupid. Testosterone starts affecting your brain. Okay. It kind of eats away at your brain. Every time you get that rush of testosterone, it makes you a little dumber. All right. That's why people who are on steroids are kind of dumb. All right. That's why that comes from. So when they're with us, and they are settling down and they're becoming, family men, and that hormonal change happens. Sometimes it just freaks them out. Sometimes they just don't know that that is supposed to happen. And so they feel like, oh, they've lost something. They've lost a step somehow. Does that make sense? That was a lot. But I'm all for giving that sexual component a lot of leeway and going ahead and getting those hormones going, getting him loving on you, getting him, thinking about you, do all sorts of fun, dirty things together. All right. I am all for that. It's all sorts of fun, dirty things. All right. And make sure that you are doing this on a regular basis because that helps with your hormones. You get that oxytocin flow too from that intimacy, and you're more willing to forgive them. So I'm all for it. I never stopped having sex with mine. I wasn't, no, that's a punishment for me. I was like, no, why I gotta stop having sex with him? Because I want to have sex. And I don't understand why I gotta be punished because he cheated. I don't understand. So I just never did it. Jenny said, my friends all say he did it once. There are more out there I didn't know about. Okay, look, you gotta stop talking to your friends. Stop telling them about this. This is not cool. If they're going to sit there and freak you out, all right, they're talking to you from their fears. They're talking to you from the things that they are worried about happening. All right. They are speaking to you maybe from their own experience, but you don't have to absorb what they are talking about. You know what the situation was. Don't have them thinking that, oh, you're just completely unaware. You're just so stupid. You know what the situation was. All right. So don't listen to them. All right. Mama Khan, you said you late to the party. That's all right. Better late than never, girl. Said all the prostitutes come to mind when having sex. Well, see. All right. Well, speaking just of the sex, you got to be working yourself up to this, okay? You can't just jump into bed and think that you're going to automatically just be ready for sex, okay? If you are having a hard time with it, you haven't been having sex because you've been thinking of the thoughts. You need to go back early. We need to start this off first thing in the morning when we wake up. Decide today is the day we are going to have some sex and we're going to have some good sex today. All right. And then I want you to be thinking about it all through the day. I want you to be thinking about all the lovely things that he has ever done to you, every little way he has ever made you squirm, every little way you ever made him squirm. All right. Thinking about it all day long. You need to be getting your brain ready for the idea that this is happening. We are having this intimacy and it's going to be a fun time. All right. As you get towards the evening, you want to go ahead and get your bath, get your smell good. You know, if you just take a shower, that's fine. But all your smell goods, all stuff that makes your skin feel soft and luxurious because you are a goddess, okay? You are a queen. You got to come out glistening. All right. You come out of the shower, your skin's so soft that he is just going to want to kiss and touch every inch of it. All right. Then we've got to dress in our sexy lingerie. You got to pick that out while you were thinking about it during the day. Get yourself some lingerie. Feel good. Be sexy. Okay. You can do it. You can put all thoughts of all other women out of his head forever if you are just happy to be there, willing to have sex, not just, yeah, I guess I kind of got to do it. I mean, like enthusiastically into it. All right. You won't think about any other woman. You will be breathless looking at you, thinking about you. So don't let the fear, because that's all that is fear. It keeps bringing up in your head, oh, look what he did. He's hurt you. So, okay, you're going to deny him sex, so then, and then you're going to be mad if he has sex with prostitutes too. No, we can't do that. That's crazy, right? So we got to start working on that. You got to be working on that, Mama Khan. You got to be every day thinking about it and ask him regularly, hey, you want to have sex? Hey, let's do that. Ask them like a couple times a week at least. You know? Oh man. See what else? Yeah, start jumping with your friends. Yeah, Johnny, don't tell your friends. Don't do that to yourself. There is no need for that. You're gonna be stressed. Oh, the friend. Lord help us. We were talking about that tomorrow in the Trust Issue Challenge. That's day 5. We're going to talk about getting some decent support for yourself, not just any old body who's going to be out here and not support you. Okay, you need to have that. All right. Well, you post if there's anything else, let me know. But I'm gonna go on to the last thing that I normally give you because I want you to know about affirmation. Affirmations, when you are fearful, when you're having a hard time, your brain comes up with all these thoughts that are terrible, that make you feel bad. All right. And if you continuously repeat those thoughts, your brain will believe that you believe them. And so your brain will believe them too. So what we've got to do is consistently throughout the day, Instead of just one time in the morning saying, "Oh, I am beautiful," and then all the rest of the day, "Oh, you're such an ugly troll. I don't even know why you're alive. I don't know why you're out here. You can't have anybody." That having all of that running off at the mouth inside your head all day long. I am beautiful first thing in the morning is not going to help. You need to be consistently throughout the day reminding yourself of the good thing. Your affirmation, whatever you repeatedly say to your brain, is going to be an affirmation. Whatever you say, good or bad, is going to be an affirmation. So if you keep repeating it over and over and over again, that he doesn't love me, I'm just not good enough, I'm not sexy enough, he doesn't want to be with me, he would rather be with her, your brain is going to believe that. But if you consistently say to yourself, hey, I am a goddess, I am sexy, I am unbelievable, radiant, lovely, and he can't keep his hands off me, he cannot stand to be without me. He doesn't want any other woman more than me. If you're consistently saying that, that's what your brain will believe. So I need you working on that, okay? Every single day, just like I need you to work on your deep breathing, your journaling, your gratitude, and not asking all the damn questions. I need you to work on, hey, I am wonderful. I have these affirmations and I'm constantly thinking about myself. And every time I have a negative thought, I got a positive one to counteract it. All right. Gotta have that. It's super important. So I am gonna give you an affirmation for this week. Let's see. All right, that's interesting. Today I am energetic. All right. Today I'm filled with an incredible enthusiasm, energy and enthusiasm to face this beautiful day. I like that one. That's a good one. Today I am in energetic. Today I am filled with incredible energy and enthusiasm to face this beautiful day. And over here, sure y'all can see it. There we go. Today I am energetic. Today I'm filled with an incredible energy and enthusiasm to face this beautiful day. All right. That's a good one. That's a good one. All right. Let's see. Oh, we got boundaries. Oh, somebody said something. Hold on. Let me go back. Let me go back. Where did I? Lord, where did my video go? You said, okay, Rhea, you said I've had to set some boundaries with my BFF. It was hard, but it helped tremendously. Yeah, you got to set boundaries for people. I am of the if you're not a help, you're a hindrance school of thought. If you are not directly helping me, you are a problem. Okay, you got to stop being a problem. I can't keep working with you if you're gonna sit here and second guess my decisions, try to make me feel bad, try to make me doubt myself and be afraid. Chick, that's not a good friend. You're not helping me. It's not helpful. And I know a lot of people feel like they just got to tell you the truth. I don't want to sugarcoat it for you. I just want to tell you I don't want you to be hurt. But chick, you hurting me. You're hurting me. Right? You may not want me to be hurt by somebody else, but damn, you're saying awful things that make me feel terrible. You are hurting me. So, yeah, you gotta get some ground rules. Just let people know. But that's the problem with telling people what your business is. Because then they feel like, oh, you're including me in your business, so I can feel free to go ahead and speak on your business whenever I feel like it, and that's not cool. Right? Mama Connie said, "Did you know that the door behind you looks like two eyes and a head? The wood stain." Oh, you freaked me out. I was like, "Yeah, the little two eyes right there. Looks like one of the things from Miss Pac-Man or Pac-Man or Miss Pac-Man. It was like one of the little ghosts." I'm gonna try and sit in front of it. Oh, let's see. I think that's it. Is that all? Is that all we got today? All right. Regret. Regret. So we're trying to say freak me out. I was like, two eyes. What? Oh, yeah, I forgot. Oh, I thought somebody might have been creeping in and out on me back there. It's funny. I totally off topic, but I used to live in a house that was haunted. Matter of fact, let me back up. Since I was grown, since I was 18 and got out on my own, I have been consistently living in houses with ghosts in them. And this house doesn't have anything. It is the weirdest feeling to be up in here and nothing's creeping up on me, nothing's touching the back of my neck, nothing like that here. It's very cool. Because I've seen them for years and years and years, but not a thing here. It's a very, very peaceful house. I really like this house. It is very useful for me to be up in here because I'm trying to tell you, girl, I have lived in some places where woo, they just acted a fool in my house. All right. How long after DP do we stop asking questions immediately? Don't ask any. Don't do it. I know you want to. I know you want to, but it's bad. Don't do it. All right. You will feel bad. You will feel worse asking the questions. I started off the live with it. I start off the live every single time telling you stop asking questions. Okay? Stop. Wherever you're at right now. If it has been a day, if it has been 30 days, if it has been 3 years, if it has been 30 years, I don't care. Stop asking questions right now. Just stop. Because that's how you're going to get past it. If you keep on going into that, that is part of your brain's trauma response. So if you keep on asking questions over and over and over again, you are going to suffer longer. All right. That is part of your brain saying, I am traumatized. Here, I'm trying to work through that trauma. And if you keep doing it, your brain will keep thinking of questions. Just over and over and over again. You said you're 9 weeks out? Stop right now. Don't ask any more questions about it. What more information could you possibly have that will help you? Is there anything that you could possibly know from him that would just be like, oh, that just settles my spirit about him cheating? Is there anything? Let me know. Johnny said, she said they met 5 years ago, and he said only 1 year. How do I let it go? Let it go. Does it matter if they met 5 years ago and they didn't do anything? So what? If they met a year ago and they started immediately having sex, so what? He still just cheated. What good is coming out of that? What is your goal? That's what I ask all my one-on-one clients. Everybody that works with me one-on-one, they know that's always going to be my question. What's your goal here? What is it what you're trying to do by reconciling? Okay, well, he says 1 year, she says 5. All right, two people who both have every reason to lie to you. She got just as much reason to lie to you as he does. All right, because she was already a stalker. She was already stalking you, already planning to tell you awful things about him. So we know that about her already. And then we know that he doesn't want to get in trouble either. All right. So he's got reason to lie too. What's your purpose here? If you find out that it was 2 years and you find out both of them were lying, then what? What does it do? What does it help you to know? Okay, we've known each other 5 years versus we've known each other 1 year. Does that mean? Let me know. I said neither of them are reliable sources. No, they're not. So I'm one of the folks that need transparency. No, you don't. Joni, tell me. Let me look at me. I want you to look at me in the eye, okay? You do not need that transparency. Not that. You need to stop asking questions about this affair because you know this chick is crazy. So you know she's not a reliable source. And you know that you want to be with this person. You know that you love him and you want to be with him. So you need to stop trying to pick it all apart with him. You're just sabotaging yourself. Stop. Every question, stop right now. If I had talked to you on day 2, I would have told you, hey, don't ask him no more questions. You don't need that in your brain. Any answer he gives you is going to be troubling to your brain. Any information you gain is going to be a trouble to you and not a help to you. If you're not a help, you're a hindrance. If you're a hindrance, you need to get out of the way. All right. So none of that. Okay. It's not good. He told her in June 2022 that he wanted to work on his marriage, and she told him that she was going to contact me, but she didn't at the time. Yeah, because then she probably didn't. He probably thought she didn't know who you were then. But then she came around and she started stalking you and she knew who you were. And she was able to say to him, hey, here, look, this is your wife. I know this is your wife. I've seen the pictures, you and her and your kids. I know this is her. I can go reach out and touch her now. So It's probably all it was. Because again, she's a loony. She's out here stalking you. Why is she all involved with you? Why is she worried about you? You know what I'm saying? Why is she worried about you? She was with him, all wrapped up in him, and she has decided that she is not just gonna be wrapped up in him, she's gonna be obsessed with you too. This chick is crazy. You gotta let it go. So then in March 2023, she found you. So she was working on it. She was trying to find you. She was trying to be on it. So then she wasn't getting what she wanted from him, and she found you, and then she let him know, hey, I found her. I can put my hand on her, and then he felt like he had to do something about all right. So you guys thought what it is you're telling yourself a story. You're telling yourself that, oh, this entire time he was just so in love with her. And that's the only reason he started talking to her again is because, oh, he felt so strongly for her and not because she was a crazy person stalking me. All right. That's what you're thinking. And that's not the right story. I don't think that that's the correct story. He changed his number and blocked her and changed his emails as well. Like, what else can he do? What else can he do to show you? You are not going to believe it unless you believe it from inside you. There's nothing else that he can do. He has shown you you changed all the numbers, all the emails, all of that. There's nothing else he can do to convince you. You just have to believe in it. You have to trust him. And that's where we're at. That's full circle. You got to trust him. You got to believe that he's telling you the truth. Believe in him. Don't believe in the worst. Believe in the best. That's it. That's all you got to do. That's it. I know it seems like it's really super difficult and it is hard. But once you make up your mind that you're going to believe in the person that you love, I mean, the love will carry you a long way. Really will. Scary, scary, scary. Girl, yes it is. Girl, yes, it is. But you out here now. You've already decided that this is the person that you want to be with. And scary or not, that's still true. So you've got to do the very best you can to make this relationship work well, not being all dysfunctional, not you sitting here obsessing over things in the past. You can't make the relationship a good relationship if you keep doing this. You are sabotaging yourself. You are saying to yourself, well, I got to find all this out and I got to make sure I know all this before I can just go ahead and let go and go for it and trust him again and be with him. And you don't have to do all of this. You're giving yourself hoops to jump that you don't have to jump. Does that make sense? I don't want you adding to the hoops you got to jump. You already got to heal enough. You ain't got to jump hoops too. Dang. Doing that to yourself. Yeah, just go ahead and believe him. Or go ahead and believe her then. If you want to believe that they known each other for 5 years, okay, fine. It doesn't make any difference in the fact that he cheated. He cheated. Whether it was 5 years ago or a year ago, he cheated. So that's all you really need to know. You don't need all that extra detail. You don't need all that transparency. If you're in a state where you can't handle transparency, then there's no reason for you to keep on trying for it. If you are in a state where you can't believe a word he says anyhow, there's no need to keep on digging. You're not going to believe anything that comes from him. So there's no need for you to keep on doing that. There's no need for you to keep on digging and trying to find out information because no matter what he says, even if it's the God's honest truth, he can put his hand on the Bible and had angels come down and swear with him, you're still not going to believe him. So why keep doing that to yourself? You say you're too short to jump hoops. Well, stop doing it then. Stop that. Stop doing it to yourself. Stop making yourself jump these hoops, trying to just go ahead and be with the person you want to be with. You're trying to give yourself excuses to be with him. Well, I know all the answers. If I got all the pieces, if it's totally transparent, then I can just go ahead and want to be with him. I'm saying do that first. I'm saying go ahead and say, you know what, this is the person I want to be with. I love him. I want to be with him. I do not want to give up on this relationship. In spite of him doing the wrong thing, I still am going to trust and believe in him, and we are going to have a good, healthy, happy relationship. You just go ahead and believe that first. Then you can fill in everything else after. A lot of things come clear as you start to heal. But if you are not healed, if you are in pain, you can't have empathy for somebody else. You can't understand what is going on with them and why this happened at all. So there's no need for you to keep on digging for something that you cannot possibly understand at this time. But if you wait for a little bit, you heal up some, the answers start to come. They start to flow out. As he gets a little bit more comfortable, he's like, "Oh, okay, it doesn't look like she's gonna leave me. I think maybe she's gonna stick around. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and talk about something now." And he'll start letting out information, and you'll be collecting that information. Now, don't freak out when he tells you stuff now, but you'll be collecting more information about it, and you'll be able to think about it objectively because you won't be in this state, this I'm so hurt, I'm so anxious, I need all the answers state, because you're not comprehending it, you're not absorbing it when you're in this traumatized state. You're too soon out to be absorbing everything that you want to know. So give yourself some time. Okay, give yourself some time. It took some years. It took some years for like everything to come out, but it was much better that way, and I found out more, and I believed him more because I was capable of believing him. That makes sense? Let me know. Alrighty, y'all. I think that's about it. We've been going hard. I've been going hard in the Huge challenge in the morning, and had to come up and go hard for the Healing Hour Live tonight. So glad that you joined me. Thank you all for coming out. You know, I absolutely love to have you here. I love to answer your questions. If you have any problems, if you have issues, if you want me to work with you, if you need me to talk to, text me, message me. I Love Coach Dasha on Facebook, on YouTube, on Instagram, on TikTok. I am at Love Coach Dasha. That is who I am everywhere. Okay, Love Coach Dasha, Dasha. Just go find me and come talk to me. Okay, I want to talk to you. I want to help you out. All right, if you just come on and let me know. All right, that's it. That's all I got for you today. Thanks so much for joining me for Live. I will be back again tomorrow morning, but I will also be back again next week, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the next Healing Hour Live. I'll see y'all later. Bye. Bye, Instagram.